Alright guys, welcome back to another deck profile. This is another one of Aimee's. One that she was quite excited about making for 2.0. This is Galacticmon. So it starts with the BT7 Dory Egg, Dorymon, Alphamon's favourite. So this is just for draw power. She stuffs a lot of sources under her stacks in Galacticmon. They get really big, so the Dorymon egg just says whenever you place a Digivolution source underneath, draw one. So she can just dig through her deck faster and see Galacticmons. Then moving on to rookies, we only play two different rookies. So it starts off with a playset of Vemmons from BT18. So this is better than the first Vemmon because it's on play, you reveal the top three. And then you get to add a card with Vemmon and its text. So you can actually add Vemmons to your hand with this, as well as all the other Vemmon archetype stuff. So the Option, Galactic, Destro, Snatchmon, you can add them all. But it also lets you add Vemmons. And then it lets you place a Vemmon under any of your Digimon, not just this Digimon, as the bottom source. And then you bottom deck the rest. And then the Inheritable is also a power creep, because when this Digimon would digivolve into a card with Vemmon and its text, you reduce the cost by 1. Whereas the older BT11 one specifically says, I believe, Destro or Galactic. So whenever you go into your level 4, it's always for full cost. But now, if you have this under, you can go into that for cheaper as well. Then, the other rookie we play at 4, 8, 12, 16 copies. The card says that we can run up to 50, so that's why we run as many as we fucking want. So the effect of this is main, you can suspend it to search your top 3 for specifically Galactic, Destro, Fusionize, or Snatchmon. Add it to hand, and then place a Vemmon under specifically this Digimon, and then bottom deck the rest. So slightly worse than the other one, but it's the better one to digivolve into in the back. Because if you place the Vemmon underneath the egg, you get the draw one immediately. So you get to go 4 cards deep instead of 3. Then, like I say, the Inheritable is only specifically when you digivolve into Destro or Galactic, you reduce by 1. So again, slightly worse than the other one. But both Inheritables are mandatory, so sometimes you want to save your reductions for your 5s and higher, rather than using them on your 4s, so sometimes it's not too bad. You want to get like 8 Vemmons in your stack by the time you get to Galacticmon, so you can delete anything, and also so you have basically 2 layers of protection with Galacticmon. So you need to run like a lot of them. They're essentially half the deck. They're 20 cards of the deck as Vemmons, so that you see enough of them that you can get up to 8 Vemmons and sources, so you can have all your effects live.
Make sure you subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. That way you never miss a thing.
Moving on to level 4s, we play 4 of the BT11 Snatchmon. So it has, when digivolving, you place up to 2 Vemmons from trash underneath it, and then if it has 4 or more Vemmons in its sources, you return a Fusionize from your trash to your hand. So that's very good in terms of recycling your Fusionizes, because that's a card that basically lets you digivolve and place things under from trash a lot easier. You can digivolve from trash, so you can run less of your higher up things to be able to subsidize for the amount of Vemmons you need to run. And Fusionize also is 0 if you have Snatchmon on board, so they combo really well. Then the Inheritable is when Vemmon are placed from the Digivolution cards of this Digimon to the bottom of the deck. You can unsuspend and gain blocker on the line. And obviously, higher up in your line, especially on Galacticmon, you bottom deck Vemmons to initiate your effects, your protection, your redirects, and things like that. So you can redirect and then gain blocker. It's quite nice pairing. The other level 4 we run is 4 of the BT18 Snatchmon. So this one's also very good. It doesn't add back Fusion Eyes, but what it does do is Digicross. So you can Digicross using up to 4 Vemmons, and reduce by 1 for each. So you can play this out for a total cost of 2. So you can memory choke a little bit, or you can just get it on board for quite cheap. If you like, it's cheaper than playing a Vemmon and then digivolving up like by a million. It also has the effect of when there's no other Digimon other than Vemmon, which means it also triggers if there's no Digimon on your board. You can use Vemmons in trash as the Digicross material, which is a lot, very handy, essentially, if you're not have that many Vemmons in hand, if you're going through your resources really quickly, you can just reuse them from trash, and then just get a stack back on the board, ready for combating your opponent. The inheritable is the exact same as the BT11 one, so there's no changes there, there's no differences. But end of turn, it also has the effect of if it has 4 more Digivolution cards, it may Digivolve into a Digimon card with Vemmon in text in the hand. It does pay cost for that, but because of your inheritables, you're actually going pretty much Digivolving for 1 usually at the end of your turn into your Destromon is usually the most common combo. It also has the same when Digivolving as the other one of putting 2, so even if you're Digivolving over a Vemmon straight from breeding, you can still, the egg still counts for the end of turn Digivolve, so you can just go straight into your Destro, or sometimes you can go straight into Galactic as well, if you really need to, but less likely. But yeah. Moving on to level 5s, we pretty much hit one of the best cards in the deck, which is the promo Destromon. So this is some of the most insane Tamer hit in the game. It has on play when Digivolving, you choose any number of your opponent's Digimon or Tamers so that their play cost adds up to a total of 3 and delete them. But for each Vemmon in this Digimon's Digivolution cards, you add 1 to the maximum. So you can usually get up to like 6 or 7 play cost total worth, so you can kill like a memory setter and a memory gainer, you can kill rookies very easily, you can kill aces pretty easily. This is some of the best removal the deck has. It has Digicross using 1 Snatchmon and up to 4 Vemmons. Unfortunately, it doesn't have the Snatchmon effect where you can use Vemmons from trash or anything like that, but if you can turn 1 pump this out and just pop whatever things they've done on their first turn to set up their board, their memory set or anything like that. You can just play this for 5, kill them, and then they just have to spend more resources just to build back up. Its inheritable effect is when an opponent's Digimon attacks by returning 2 Vemmon from the sources of the of one of your Galacticmon's Digivolution cards, you can switch the attack target to this Digimon. So it's a redirect, so it means if you don't have the blocker live yet, this will trigger getting the blocker live and then redirect. It's also a 10k body, so like you can just fire it at security, and unless you hit a level 6, you're not going to die really. So it's quite handy to have like that, and be able to play it for 5 potentially. Means you can set up aces and things like that on your opponent's board as well, or on your opponent's turn. So it's definitely one of the best cards in the deck, and definitely play 4 of it. The other level 5s we play are 2 of the BT11 Destromon. It has when Digivolving, reveal the top 3 cards of your deck, place a Vemmon among them from them, under this Digimon as its bottom Digivolution card, and then trash the rest. Then if there are 5 or more Vemmons in this Digimon's Digivolution cards, delete one of your opponent's Tamers. So this can hit Tamers as well, slightly less likely, but this is basically some of the only trash power in the deck as well. The inheritable is the exact same, but definitely the other one's better, but this one isn't bad to go into, to Digivolve into, just to fill up your trash with some more Vemmons if you need, to hit that 8 mark for the Galacticmons. So it's definitely not a bad level 5, but playing more of the other one is definitely desirable. Onto the namesake of the deck, we have BT11 Galacticmon. This is a very good card. So when digivolving, you place up to 4 Venmon from your trash under this Digimon. Then if there is 8 or more Venmons in the Digivolution cards, you delete one of your opponent's Digimon. So no level requirement, no play cost, no DP, nothing like that. It's just any one of their Digimon, you just kill it. Its all turns is when this Digimon would leave the battle area by placing 4 Venmon from this Digimon's Digivolution cards to the bottom of your deck. You prevent it from leaving play. So essentially, if you get to your 8 mark, you also have 2 sets of protection from this Digimon leaving the battle area. And then start of your main phase, you trash the top card of your opponent's security stack. And that is a mandatory trigger that can't be stopped. If this guy's on the board, you just start of main, they lose the security. They can't do anything about it. Really strong Digimon. It's a 14k naturally. It can Digivolve from Snatchmon for 9 as well, which is something I forgot to mention on the BT11 destro. It can also just directly Digivolve from Venmon for 6. So you can basically skip Digivolutions a lot in this deck as well. And again, because of the inheritables, you're not even paying that much. Like, this is a 6 naturally from a 5 and a 9 from a Snatchmon, but most of the time you're going into this for like 4 or less than that. And if you've like been de-digivolved and you still have your stack, they didn't kill it or anything, you're essentially going back into this for 0. And combined with other cost reductions and stuff like that, it's very, very nice to get into much more cheaply than you think you would. But yeah, no, it's a great card. Next, we run 1 Shadow Seraphimonius. This is a great ace. It's on play when digivolving, de-digivolve 3 one of your opponent's Digimon, so you basically hit them right back into a rookie. It's a blocker naturally, and that ties into the fact that its all turns is when an attack target changes, one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 5k for the turn. So essentially, they attack, you de-digivolve right down to a rookie, then you block and you minus 5k, so you don't even battle. Or you can minus 5k something else and make them less likely to attack and things like that. Yeah, it's very handy. It's not ideal in every circumstance, but it can set your opponent back a turn or 2 and allow you to get to Galactic and then just finish the game. So it's very nice to have, and especially if you're playing the Digicross Destro and things like that, or the Digicross Snatch and then Digivolving into a Destro, you have a level 5 in your opponent's turn for this to go on top of. And then the last Digimon of the deck, we run a Death X, just for the going wide boards. It's Death X, you know what it does. It can go on top of Galacticmon, but very rare you would ever want to do that. But yeah, this is just for the going wide boards, for just to kill everything. Moving on to Tamers, we run 3 Zenith from BT18. This is the Galacticmon Tamer now. He is very, very good. Start of main, he has Analog Man's effect, so you can trash a Venmon in your hand to draw 1, gain 1. And because you run so many, usually the card you draw is another Venmon. So it's quite good like that. Its other effect is your turn when any of your Digimon attack by suspending this Tamer and returning 2 Venmon from those Digimon's Digivolution cards to the bottom of the deck. You de-digivolve 1 on one of your opponent's Digimon. So it's a de-digivolve on a Tamer. It's really nice removal. It's really nice to get rid of aces your opponent could be setting up, or just make things smaller to swing over. De-digivolving aces that are already there. Like, de-digivolve is such a strong mechanic in Digimon, and it's probably one of the top 3 best removal effects. So to have it tied to the Tamer is very nice to have. On top of this, the Snatchmon effect, inheritable, to unsuspend and give blocker, is an all turns effect. So before this Tamer was out, the only way to trigger that on your turn was to hope your 14k Galacticmon somehow died to security, and to trigger the protection and trigger the unsuspend. But this makes it a lot more reliable to unsuspend on your turn, so you can do 2 checks rather than 1, which is really, really nice. Yeah, no, he's a great card to have. He digs through your deck, gives you memory, and that second effect is just perfect for the deck. The only other Tamer we run is a memory setter, Izzy. He is the only 3-cost memory setter in the game. So he will gain you a memory if... so on play, you reveal the top 3 cards of your deck. If they're all black, you gain a memory. This is a mono-black deck. You're always going to gain that memory. He is a 3-cost memory setter, and that's just incredible enough to play him. He's also just probably the best generic black memory setter you can play because of that reason. And especially when you're spending a lot of memory to digivolve into your stacks, potentially, it's nice to start on 3. Yeah. Moving on to option cards, we play 3 Fusionize. So this is the option card for the deck. It becomes a 0 cost if you have Snatchmon on the board, because it reduces its own cost by 1. And then its effect is you place a Vemmon or Destromon from your trash under one of your Digimon as its bottom Digivolution card. Then you may Digivolve one of your Digimon into Destromon or Galacticmon from your trash for its cost. So this is how you're able to run so many more Vemmons in your deck and so many less of your higher levels, because you can get into them again from trash and it's not that bad. On top of that, this is also how you like stack your sources back under. Like if you lost the Destromon, you can put that back under and get an extra redirect. Or if you just need extra Vemmons in your line, you're not getting up to them or getting that many in your line, you can place extras and things like that from trash. So it's very nice to do. And because one of the Snatchmon grabs these back from trash, it's a nice wee loop to do this, Digivolve into a Destro, or stuff things while you have Snatches, and then Snatch will just grab this back. Its security effect is you can reveal the top 3 of your deck, play a Vemmon, and trash the rest. So paired with the new Searcher Vemmon we have, it's very nice to be able to search on your opponent's turn. It's very nice to keep a body on the board. And again, it's some of the only trash power the deck has, which, when you want a lot of Vemmons in trash, it's nice to get as much trash power as possible. Next we have 2 black scrambles. So being able to go into Galacticmon for reduced by 3 is very nice, because sometimes you've used all your cost reduction from your inheritables already. So it's nice to reduce the cost of Galacticmon any way you can. But its delay effect is also very, very good. Obviously, Scramble is just a stable card at this point. Everyone knows what it does. But be able to have a line at the start of your turn if your opponent somehow wiped your Galacticmon off the board or any other Digimon. It's nice to have a good starting point, and not be starting from scratch. And again, being able to play the Searcher now on your opponent's turn from the BT18 one is, if they hit this in security, is very, very nice. And then the final 2 cards we play in the deck are 2 final Zubagon Punches. And yeah, this card got added as soon as we realized you can unsuspend on your own turn thanks to the Tamer. So this card, essentially, your Galacticmon is 14k already. So when this gives the +3, it will always be 16k or more, so it can give blocker, reboot, and most importantly, security attack +1. So if you do this on your Galactic, start at main, you trash security, and then you just go for 2 swings, and if it's later on in the game, you've probably already done some security damage, so you just win. At the very least, you can go through your entire opponent's security off 1 Galacticmon, as long as you have the Tamer. So yeah, no, and then Even if you don't, you just reboot and blocker, and you already have the blocker naturally. So, very good card to have. But that's the deck list, guys. Galacticmon has been very fun to play. Aimee's had a lot of fun with it. I've played it a couple times, and it's been very fun to play. We're very excited for seeing what support it gets in BT21.